Once, it roared like a god. Now, it crawls beneath the weight of everything we've placed on its back. The Mississippi River, the wild, winding artery of North America, is dying, not with a scream, not with a flood, but with a slow, suffocating silence. Beneath barges, under concrete, within policies that treat it not as a living being, but as infrastructure. For centuries, the Mississippi carved its name into the heart of the continent. It shaped landscapes and people. It flooded fields and grew empires. Mark Twain called it majestic, magnificent, a river too big for definition. To indigenous nations, it was sacred long before it had a name in English. But somewhere along the way, we stopped listening to the river. We began loading it instead. Every year, over 500 million tons of cargo move along its back. Grain, coal, oil, steel. We've dredged it deeper, straightened its curves, armored its banks with levees and rock. We've engineered it to serve us. And in the process, we've broken its rhythm. In 2022, the river reached record low levels. Entire shipping lanes disappeared. Barges sat stranded in the mud. Cargo halted. Farmers watched helplessly as harvest piled up with nowhere to go. In some places, the people could walk across the riverbed, a bed that once carried canoes, steamships, and spirits. And this wasn't just a drought. It was a rupture, a crack in the illusion that we can control a river forever. Because the Mississippi wasn't built for permanence. It was built for movement, for meandering, for memory. Once, it flooded with the seasons. It replenished wetlands, refilled aquifers, scattered seeds and life along its curves. It fed birds, fish, and myth. It was not a shipping lane. It was a living rhythm. Today, most of that rhythm has been paved over. The river is now lined with levees for nearly its entire length, over 2,000 miles of walls. Wetlands that once cradled excess water have been drained or buried, and when the water rises now, it has nowhere soft to go. So it crashes. When it falls, salt water creeps in from the Gulf, poisoning drinking supplies in Louisiana. We've turned a sacred being into a stressed-out system, and yet, the river remembers. It remembers what it was, and what it still wants to be. A witness, a teacher, a mirror, not of our progress, but of our priorities. It once stitched together a continent, not just ecologically, but culturally. It moved jazz from New Orleans to Memphis, cotton from plantations to ports, stories from town to town. It inspired poems, paintings, rebellions. It did not divide. It wove. But now, as it shrinks, so does that tapestry. The birds don't come like they used to. The fishes struggle to breathe, and the blues echo off steel walls instead of cypress trees. There's something ghost-like about it now, a mighty force made hollow. A giant that still moves, but without music. And beneath the cargo, beneath the contracts, beneath the policies and the profits, the Mississippi is gasping, not just for water, but for meaning. We've loaded it for so long, we've forgotten how to listen. But it still speaks, in droughts, in floods, in poisoned wells, in stranded ships. It's asking us a question, quietly but urgently. How much more can I carry? There are efforts, people who remember, wetland restorers, indigenous leaders, artists who sing the old songs, farmers who leave space along the banks, who walk the fields in silence, who treat the river not as a thing, but as a relative. They're not trying to stop the river. They're trying to set it free. Because the Mississippi was never meant to be tamed. It was meant to be revered. And maybe, just maybe, there's still time to remember. If this story moves something in you, subscribe to Myths and Mysticism of Rivers. Because rivers don't just carry cargo, they carry culture, they carry warnings, they carry us. And when we forget them, they don't disappear, they disappear us.